And that's all she wrote. La Liga is unofficially over. Barcelona now with a 7-point lead over Real Madrid after yesterday's fixtures. And I have to be honest, man, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed, not because I don't want Barca to win La Liga or because I'm a secret Real Madrid fan, which some of you guys think I am, which is so funny because a year ago, Real Madrid fans thought I hated their club. It's not because of that. I couldn't really give a toss who wins. May the best team win. But I don't know, man. I like to see competitiveness. I like to see two teams jawing at each other, really going at each other, game in, game out, until the final day of the season. I know it doesn't always work out like that, but when you looked at how La Liga was set up this year for the final 9 games of the season, it looked like that could be a distinct possibility with Barca traveling to Atletico Madrid and that final Clásico still to be played at the renovated Camp Nou. All Real Madrid had to do was take care of business until then, and maybe Barcelona lose to Atletico. But give full credit to Barcelona. They said less of that. We're just going to take care of business on our own. And if Real Madrid don't make it that far, that's not our problem. And Real Madrid have dropped points in the most stupid manner possible. They were on such a good run of form as well, too. That's really the most disappointing thing here, right? Because you look at, since really the start of March, yes, they lost this game to Getafe, but you looked at that Celta result, the 2 games against Manchester City, the win against Elche, so commanding, and then that win in the derby. Vini along the way looking back to his exhilarating best, and knowing that Barcelona had to travel to Atletico Madrid later in the same day. All they had to do was take care of business against, with all due respect here, Mallorca. That's not to diss Mallorca, right? I get it. But they're 17th. Yes, they're fighting for their lives. That's never an easy task to go up against. You're playing a team that knows every game's a final for them in a different way to every game being a final to you. But you're up against Mallorca, mate. You're not up against Barcelona, you're up against Mallorca. This is a favorable fixture on paper for Real Madrid. And the way they have blown it yesterday, but overall this season, is really just damning on the entire campaign. And when you look at the table, right, Barcelona now 7 points ahead. But even when I look at stuff like this, right, the goal difference, 80 to 64 in terms of goals scored. Okay, that's not really a surprise. Barcelona have the best attack on the planet. I've always maintained that. When you look at the players they have at their disposal, and then when you look at the kind of manager that Hansi Flick is, I would expect them to outscore anybody in any league. I genuinely feel that under Hansi Flick, his teams will be the best goal-scoring sides on the planet. Having said that, that's still come with Lewandowski being in and out of the team most of the season, and it's come with Rafinha missing large chunks of it through injury as well too. The only consistent man in that attack has been Lamine Yamal. Having said that, with Barcelona, the talk is always about defensively. And yes, Barcelona have been on the back of a few maulings this season, and even when they don't lose bad, they concede so many chances that we look at the defensive side of the game with them. They've only conceded 1 more goal than Real Madrid, leaving it with a whopping goal difference of 15. When you see stuff like that, they've won 3 more games as well too. It's hard to say that it's not deserved for Barcelona. They are fully deserving league winners. They've been inconsistent for me at various points of the season. They haven't been as good as they were last year, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, they didn't have to be. They genuinely didn't have to be, because Real Madrid have self-combusted so many times this year and have kind of just put the cherry on top of the cake with this Mallorca result. Where do we want to start with this? Let's start with Real Madrid. They were the earlier game. We'll talk about Barcelona after. They were the earlier game. This game against Mallorca right here, right, is just pure comedy. You look at this team. The big absentee, of course, being Federico Valverde, suspended against Atletico Madrid. That, for me, was always going to be a big absentee, because in the midst of their winning run that they were on under Arbeloa, Vini was a huge player. He didn't start this game. But Fede, the form that Fede was in, both goal scoring, both driving forward, both defensively, we know the impact Fede Valverde has on this Real Madrid team. It cannot be replaced easily. Him being out was a big absentee for me, man. Him and Vini. But the fact that you look at the lineup that he decided to put out regardless and go with this midfield 4, first of all, which hasn't played much football together, but also misses that kind of Fede-esque player. I watched Faisal's video, and he mentioned how disappointed he was to not see Thiago Pitarch in the lineup, because he feels like he's maybe the one player that can replicate even 1% of what Fede can do. And I'm sorry, I can't help but agree. I think Arbeloa potentially got one wrong there. The Vini case, I don't know if maybe because he came back late from international break, he wanted to give him a rest this game, maybe resting him ahead of Bayern, maybe he wants to get Mbappe back into the squad. But hey, brother, it's not looking good when we look at Real Madrid's run of wins that they were on up to this game, and you look and see, win against Celta, no Mbappe. Win against City, no Mbappe. Win against Elche, no Mbappe. Win against City away, no Mbappe. Win against Atletico Madrid, no Mbappe in the starting 11. Mbappe comes back. Mallorca 2, Real Madrid 1. Is it causation? Is it coincidence? Maybe a mixture of both. Truthfully, maybe a mixture of both. I think I'd be naive to say that Mbappe is the reason why Real Madrid were winning all those games before, and now he's the reason why they're losing. I don't think it's as simple as introducing one player into the lineup. But what it does showcase, in my opinion, is that for all the goals that Kylian Mbappe scores for Real Madrid, I do think his overall impact to the squad is exaggerated by some people. And when you look at this game, Kylian Mbappe, who was given a 7.3 in this game, beyond me how, missed chances that earlier on in the season, this guy was burying at a crazy rate. Today, Kylian Mbappe missed a hat-trick of chances that would have sent Real Madrid clear in this game. Clear. And on today, it just wasn't his day. But this is why I continue to say, when he scores 40 goals at the end of each campaign and people are telling me, well, how can he not be the best player in the world? First and foremost, my brother, this sounds so crazy to say, but you can score 40 goals all you want. If they're not coming in crunch time at the end of the season, I'm taxing that 40 goals a little bit. The best players, and he is one of the best players, but the players who end up winning the big awards and end up winning team trophies are the ones that really deliver when it's crunch time at the end of the campaign. And last season in the Champions League against Arsenal, Mbappe was a no-show. And this game right here, hours before Barcelona were yet to play, was one of those games where if Mbappe scores, for me, those goals are more valuable than the ones he's scoring in October. I genuinely believe that. You can say 3 points is 3 points, but they needed him today, especially with Vinny out. They needed him today, and Mbappe was nowhere to be seen. Those misses have ultimately helped, not helped, but harmed Real Madrid's hope for winning La Liga. But it's not just him. Kylian Mbappe did not lose this game on his own for Real Madrid. Sure, he probably meant that he didn't win it, but defensively, again, we talk for all of Barcelona's weaknesses from a defensive point of view. What about the defensive mishaps from Real Madrid? How these guys have all gotten green FootMob ratings? Are they paying the CEO of FootMob? Do Real Madrid have a partnership with FootMob that I just didn't know about? They must, because how Rudiger finished with a 7.1. I mean, I'm just happy these two didn't get sevens. Honestly, Camavinga, I love you, my brother. I love you. But for all the talk about how I say I want Man United to sign you, there's still flaws in your game that I feel have existed now for 3-4 years at Real Madrid. And how you are allowing guys to just run off the back of you. These are opportunities for you, because Camavinga doesn't start every single game. He doesn't. But these are opportunities for you to really stake a claim in this team. And I just think now it's a lot of years at Real Madrid where I just don't think Camavinga has developed the way we all thought he would. Now, it's not easy at Real Madrid, right? He's been playing in numerous different positions, which I always maintain I don't think is good for the development of a player. But also, he's been in and out of the team numerous occasions. But I feel now we've reached the point with Camavinga at Real Madrid where there's expectations, brother, right? It's no longer a team where you're looking at the best players in the world and you're just kind of a bit part player there. You should be one of the main guys in this team. And I just feel that 4 or 5 years now, how long has he been at Real Madrid now? I think he joined 22, 23, 21, 22, 21, 22, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25, 25, 26. 5 seasons at Real Madrid. And I just don't feel like Camavinga has ever cemented a spot in this team throughout a campaign. That's concerning. 5 years out of football club is a long time. And yes, he's young. He's only turning 24. There's a lot of years left for Camavinga. And I would take him at Man United tomorrow. I think he's a very talented player. But the talent eventually has to translate into consistency. And I just feel like Camavinga, we're still waiting. We're still waiting. Real Madrid today have just completely been so sloppy from minute 1 to minute 90. And you just feel that when you have Barcelona going up against Atletico hours later in the day, this is one of those games, like I always say, get in, take care of business, get out. They weren't able to do it. They had a brief moment of hope where Militao, who came off the bench today, scored in the dying moments of the game to at least secure a draw. You're thinking, okay, it's not great, but at least you haven't lost. Just for Muriqi to receive the ball at the back post with so much time and space. Honestly, you talk about optional defending. You talk about locking in crunch time of a campaign. How has Muriqi been allowed to receive the ball at the far post almost completely unmarked to finish past Lunin the way he did? Shout out Muriqi, by the way. He's having a hell of a campaign. But Real Madrid, the creators of their own demise. And it left Barcelona having to go to Atletico Madrid with one objective: win the league. And win the league they did. Now, I think Barcelona got lucky 3 times today. Before Barcelona fans jump on me, let me explain why. First and foremost, the first reason they got lucky is because Real Madrid lost before. That's a bit of luck, right? Real Madrid did half the job for Barca. That's the least luck they got, though, right? It's not their problem what Real Madrid do, but Real Madrid gave them a lifeline. They did. The second bit of luck that they had, they faced an Atletico Madrid side that, my brother, oh my God. This is so heavily rotated, it's crazy. Diego Simeone is hilarious, man. This guy basically rotated the entire team with one eye on the Champions League fixture in midweek, where coincidentally, they play against Barcelona. Atletico Madrid, no. The league, they're not going to win it this season. They're a million miles off the top. And for the most part, they're a million miles clear of 5th. So they're going to make Champions League football next season. Whether they finish 4th or 3rd, who really cares? Their objective right now is, can we do something in Europe? And when you look at this 11, hey, they didn't give a toss about winning this game. So in that regard, Barcelona also got kind of lucky. Now, the third thing where they got kind of lucky, and this is up for interpretation, the red card offense on Gerard Martin. Now, let me see if I can get a still image, because I'm not trying to get copyrighted. All right, this is Gerard Martin in yesterday's game. 2 images telling 2 vastly different stories. Originally, Gerard Martin was sent off for this offense. He was sent off. I think it was it was a straight red card, I think. Was it a straight red card or was it a second yellow? Either or, he was given his walking orders. And then we went to VAR. And look, this was the image that everyone is looking at, where it looks like his foot is basically going straight through the defender's ankles. This is potentially an ankle-breaking challenge. Having said that, it comes after Gerard Martin initially wins the tackle. If you watch I can't show it because of copyright, but if you actually watch the offense, or the perceived offense, Gerard Martin goes in for the challenge, wins the ball, and his follow-through inadvertently, but also obviously, ends up going through the ankle of the player. Now, this is a conversation and a situation that I'm always so intrigued by, right? Because in my mind, if I'm going in for that tackle, I'm going in for it full-blooded, right? You want to win the ball here. You're not going in half-ass. But also, if you go in like that, you're obviously going to follow through with your foot, right? We've all played football at various levels here, right? If you go in with that force, obviously, it's like, even if you don't play football, it's physics. You are now in Physics 101 of the Esposito here. If you have a force that goes through at a certain velocity in this direction, where is the force going to continue to go even if it hits a temporary block? It's going to still push forward if the velocity is quick enough. The force is going to continue to go forward even after it hits the block. Now, the block might slow it down a little bit, but it's still going to go through. That's the follow through we're talking about here with Gerard Martin. So of course, now, is it very, very high? Of course, right? But again, also think, it's coming from down. Of course it's going to go up. I've always seen these challenges, and I feel like they get officiated very, very differently. That's why I'm saying Barcelona are potentially lucky here, because I think a different referee might have stood by that decision. I think in the Premier League, that's a red card. Champions League ref, I don't know. That's why I'm saying they're lucky. But me personally, I'm 50-50 about these things, because I know Gerard Martin won the ball first. Where else is his foot supposed to go? Where else? Like, there's no other way there's nowhere else his foot can go. Because he won that first ball, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hear it. If like he could have very well broke his ankle. Does that still make it a red? I mean, it's complicated. It's very complicated. I'm not that mad that the decision didn't get called. You guys might think I'm chatting shit here, but I can 100% reason or understand the reasoning why that wasn't seen as a sending off for Gerard Martin. Having said that, I definitely think he got lucky because I think a different referee could have very well given it. But back to the game. Barcelona, man. No Lewandowski, no Rafinha, no Frankie, no problem. No problem. This guy right here, man of the match, 0 goals, 0 assists. But what a sensational little footballer you are, man. The best player in the world. And how I said about players stepping up in crunch time, in big moments, in do or die settings. Lamine Yamal, for a second successive season, has won La Liga for Barcelona when it matters most. Last season, for all the talk about 9 league goals this, 9 league goals that, if you seriously watched La Liga, you would have known Lamine Yamal in the final 10 games of the season went into takeover mode. He took over La Liga almost single-handedly. The goal against Espanyol towards the end of the season lives long in the memory when he sealed the La Liga title for Barca. Incredible performance, incredible goal. And today people will say, oh, I didn't score today, so how could he have decided it? Because we watch our eyes here on this channel. We watch with our eyes. Lamine Yamal today was on a different level. Now, he was a bit fortunate that he was playing against this brother today here, right? He's a winger masquerading as a left back. And I even tweeted at one point in the first half, I think after like 15 minutes or so, Nico Gonzalez has no idea where he is right now. Nico Gonzalez, it's like he blacked out and he woke up on a football pitch. One day he was just eating food, right? He's eating paella in Spain. He blacked out. Next thing he knows, he's playing left back against Lamine Yamal. That's what it felt like today. There was one moment where a ball went over the top and Nico Gonzalez was so out of his depth that he literally jumped up and palmed the ball. He stopped it with his hands. He's like, I'd rather take the yellow card offense than let Lamine Yamal run in behind. This is at like the halfway line. That's how shook Lamine has, guys. But Nico Gonzalez was just, bro, I'm sorry. This is one of the funniest performances of the entire campaign. Ends up getting sent off. And bro, he just couldn't deal with Lamine. It's as simple as that. He did not want any problems with Lamine today. And Lamine still gave it to him. There's this one moment, right? Oh my God. I wish I could show footage on this channel. I really do, because Lamine picks it up at the halfway line today, right? Out of the sky, gets it. Defender coming in, whoop, through the legs, rolls it through the legs. But the craziest thing wasn't even the nutmeg. The nutmeg in itself was Ronaldinho-esque, right? But the craziest part about the entire play is that he doesn't even set himself after megging the guy. He megs him, looks up, and then immediately in behind plays this fantastic Trivela pass into the pass directly into Fermin. In one sudden swoop, he has received the ball out of the air, nutmegged the defender, and then played a guy through on goal. It happens in 2 seconds. Guys, this is the best footballer in the world. I'm sorry. I feel like if you watch La Liga, even half consistently, you don't even have to be an avid watcher of La Liga. If you actually just watch Barca and Real play, there shouldn't be a conversation in my eyes, truthfully, about who the best player out of all two sides combined really is. It's Lamine. And I don't even think it's that close. I really don't. This guy's on a different level to anybody in Spain. I think he's the best player in the world. And games like today just prove it. Lamine, take an absolute bow, man. What a special player. But in general, his playmaking today was on full display. The passes this guy was pulling off. I used to always say Quaresma was the best player of a Trivela pass I've ever seen, right? In terms of his passing over the Trivela. I mean, he used to score goals with the Trivela. Outside of the foot, Quaresma is better than with the inside. It was disgusting. And I still think when you look at the full array of what he can do with the outside of his foot, Quaresma is still probably the best Trivela player I've seen. But Luka Modric pushed him damn close. Because Luka Modric is passing with the outside of his foot. Bro, this guy would rather play with the outside of his foot than with his left. It's ridiculous. And it's so accurate. That pass to Rodrigo against Chelsea is iconic. This guy is very rapidly entering those conversations when it comes to the best player of a Trivela. Lamine Yamal, man. Oh my God, bro. Why are they all so accurate? Why are they all so pinpoint accurate? It doesn't make any sense, man. There was an opportunity as well today where in like such a tight corridor in and around the box, this guy's got 2 players on him. He finds a way of beating both of them to then go through and then just narrowly miss. That's the one thing of Lamine that I'm still waiting for, right? The killer instinct in front of goal. I still think he misses some chances, Lamine. If I'm really being picky, he still misses some chances that I think he should be scoring. And then Lamine's tally for the season will jump by 10 plus, man, honestly. But he's just so unstoppable. He's unstoppable, man. He's really just unstoppable. No one can touch him. That's not taking anything away, though, from the rest of the supporting cast today. Marcus Rashford, take a bow. Incredibly taken goal. Looked like Marcus Rashford of old. The Marcus Rashford that I used to fall in love with watching play at Manchester United. He took his goal so well off his left through the goalkeeper's legs. And they're going to need a lot from Marcus Rashford, right? With Rafinha, we don't know how long he's out for this season. He's set to miss both legs of the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. That's a big blow. The bigger question mark will be if they are to advance, will he be there for a semi-final? Because now the league, it's not the end of the world that Rafinha is not there. If anything, hey, brother, no need to speed it up. Go take your time, recover. But will he be available for a potential semi-final? What a special bit of recruitment from Barcelona. What a special bit of recruitment this was. This guy has been like a jetpack into Barcelona coming from January. Joao Cancelo. Hey, you know what they say? Class never dies. Class never dies. Joao Cancelo, what a performance. And his involvement for Barca's goal today. Cutting in, cutting out, cutting back in, striking on goal before the OG himself. Onk still got one more in him. Robert Lewandowski. 11 minutes, 7 touches. But that one touch, I don't know if he meant it. But because it's Lewandowski, I'm actually going to give him the credit. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That little chest. Some people can say, oh, he just reacted. I'm not going to lie. When you score as many goals as Lewandowski does, you earn some credit in the bank. You earn some benefit of the doubt. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think he might have meant that. But Joao Cancelo to create that opportunity almost out of nothing as a fullback, but for Lewandowski to come up with one more big moment for FC Barcelona at his big age of 37 years old. Legends never die, man. Lewa's had a stop-start season this year. He hasn't had the highs of last season where he grabbed 40 goals at 36, by the way. But he showed that even at his age, even through his injuries, even through his inconsistencies this year, the class remains, bro. Ferran missed so many chances today. Almost started as like a false 9 with Fermin rotating with him. They did a decent job. But if you have this guy, he still comes up with very, very magical moments, man. Big performance from Barcelona. Because even despite Atletico Madrid rotating today, they had opportunities. They did. They even took the lead in this game. Griezmann had a huge chance. Huge chance. I like this guy, by the way. I'm a big fan of Giuliano Simeone. When they first brought him in, I was thinking, is this a bit of nepotism? This is my kind of nepotism. Giuliano Simeone is a baller. He is a baller. He doesn't just play because he's Cholo's son. He's actually very, very useful, man. I'm a fan of Giuliano Simeone. They got a good one with him. That's like a second Llorente, man. It's crazy. But Barcelona, big, big performance. They had to, because just because Real Madrid lost earlier, that doesn't mean that Barcelona can just lay back and put their foot off the pedal. They knew they could seal this whole deal with a big performance today. And a big performance was what they got. The La Liga title race, khalas, c'est fini. It's over. Congratulations to Barcelona. Real Madrid. This is the history of the Galacticos, man. Big players come in, big expectations, and yet the La Masia kids at Barcelona end up sweeping the league. The only difference is Real Madrid used to make up for it in Europe. Can they do it this season? I'm going to be honest. I don't really believe it. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What did we learn this week from La Liga? What were your big takeaways that I might have missed? Leave it all down below. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys for the next video very, very soon. Peace.